Good day, dear aspirants. Welcome back to Decode UPSC. I hope all of you are doing absolutely fantastic. And remember one thing before we begin today's class, UPSC preparation is not about studying everything, it's about studying right things repeatedly, intelligently, and with consistency. So, today we are going to decode the daily current affairs for 22nd August 2026. Today's class is extremely interesting because we are covering topics from wide ranges, all different aspects. Okay, and at the end we have few UPSC level MCQs and also one practice mains question. So don't just keep watching, just keep your notes ready. Keep your brain active, and whenever we have few questions, just pause and think regarding the question. Okay, so the first thing we are going to discuss is that National Animal Disease Control Program. National Animal Disease Control Program. So earlier we had a very good discussion about this program also. So let's start with the topic of agriculture and governance. So now whenever you hear um, National Animal Disease Control Program. This is one of the India's largest livestock health initiatives. Very simple. India's largest livestock health initiative. It was launched in the year 2019. It is central sector scheme. Okay, remember. So which means 100% central is providing the funds. 100% central government is providing the funds. Now here UPSC can easily confuse you here. Central sector scheme means what? 100% funding by the central government. So if UPSC says cost sharing between the center and the states, be careful. The statement becomes incorrect. The program actually aims to control and eradicate two major diseases. The first disease is FMD, which is food and mouth disease, and the second disease is brucellosis. Brucellosis. For FMD, the target is extremely important. For FMD, the target is extremely important because 100% vaccination, 100% vaccination, which is twice in a year, which is twice in a year. For brucellosis, one time vaccination for female bovine. For female bovine. So brucellosis is for female bovine. So aged 4 to 8 months. Aged 4 to 8 months. So for brucellosis for 4 to 8 months. Okay. And which ministry is responsible? Department of Animal Husbandry and Dairy, Ministry of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying. So this ministry is responsible for National Animal Disease Control Program. Okay, for this to remember, FMD, food and mouth, cloud-hoofed animals, and for brucellus bovine reproduction problems. So whenever UPSC gives you a disease-based question content, so remember the disease, then again the animal, then again the cause, then again the vaccination, as well as strategy what the government is doing. So this that is all you have to remember it for our examination. Next, moving forward, now let's discuss about the important topic of defense and security. Today we have INS Mangrol, and why it is important? Because it is a third of eight. It is a third of eight submarine warfare shallow watercrafts. Submarine warfare shallow watercraft saint ones, anti submarine warfare. The name itself tells you the purpose. The name itself tells you the purpose. Okay, the vessel is designed mainly to detect. Okay, so mainly to detect and deal with submarines in shallow coastal water. Now another trap UPSC can give you is who built this. Okay, it was built by Cochin Shipyard Limited and it is delivered to Indian Navy. It is indigenously designed and built. Okay, it is indigenously designed and built. It is approximately 78 meters long. Okay, so and 900 tons displacement, 900-ton displacement, and at the speed of 25 knots, maximum speed of 25 knots, and more than 80% indigenous content. It can also survive, it can also perform surveillance, search and rescue, mine laying. Okay, so don't restrict it only as submarine warfare. So for us, for example, the key points is that third out of eight shallow water anti-submarine is built by Cochin Shipyard, and 80% is indigenous content. So next again, moving forward, now let's enter the economy topic. SEBI has proposed an advertisement code for online bond platform providers. Online bond platform providers. So what exactly is online bond platform providers? Think of it as a digital platform connecting bond users with investors. Think of it as connecting it is a digital platform connecting the bond users with investors. The issuers may be they may be corporates, they may be government entities, they may be corporates, or they may be government entities, and the investors can access and compare bonds digitally. The important point is that an online bond platform provider is SEBI registered digital platform. So benefits include lower minimum investment. Okay, so 10,000. Okay, so regulatory compliance, easy comparison based on credit ratings, yield, maturity. The minimum investment mentioned here is 10,000. Now, how does the process work? First, open the demat account. For step 1, so we need to open demat account, then again complete the KYC. Okay, so then again browse and compare. We need to compare, then again replace an order to request for quote. So replacing an order for request for quote, then at the last step we have to do is settlement takes place through a clearing corporation. So remember the sequence is the demat, KYC, compare, then again request for quote, then again settlement. So very important for our contextual understanding. It's quite important for us to understand the context in respect to this. Okay, next moving forward, we will be discussing about an important topic with respect to science and technology. The government is working towards adding 30 30 gigawatts 30 so 30 GW of polysilicon manufacturing capacity by 2030 along with the proposed subsidy scheme. But first, what is polysilicon? Polysilicon means polycrystalline silicon. That means it is made up of multiple smaller crystals when fused together. So if UPSC says polysilicon is one single large continuous crystal wrong, that would not describe polycrystalline silicon. Why is polysilicon important? Because it is crucial raw material for solar cells. Okay, so it is crucial raw material for solar cells as well as semiconductors. It can be produced using Siemens process or fluidized bed reactor technology. And one more important thing is that global supply chain point. China accounts for the large majority of global solar grade polysilicon production. So for us to understand polysilicon, then polysilicon is from solar plus semiconductor plus supply chain concentration. So this is about the polysilicon, so which is in the news and what the government is planning to do. Okay, next. Now let's move to art and culture. And this one is particularly interesting. So recently, a structure near Golconda Fort in Hyderabad was reported as a possible tunnel. But the Archaeological Survey of India clarified that actually the small granite chamber, it is a small granite chamber, but not a tunnel. It's not a tunnel. Okay, so now let us revise Golconda Fort chronologically. The fort, which was built in the year 1142 by Kakatiya dynasty, and later it rose to prominence under Qutub Shahi dynasty from 1518 to 1591 by Qutub Shahi dynasty. So later in 1687 by Mughals. In 1687, Aurangzeb breached the fort after a 9 month siege. Okay, 9 months Aurangzeb was struggling actually to enter into the fort. This brought the fort under Mughals' control. Now, Golconda is famous for its diamonds, we all know. Think of the names like whatever the major diamonds, what we claim for Kohinoor, Hope Diamond, Nasak Diamond. It is also famous for Hindu Islamic fusion architecture. And remember these numbers, it has 8 gates and 87. 8 gates as well as 87 bastions. 8 gates and 87 bastions. Here the context is that it was under the rule of Kakatiyas, it was ruled under the rule of Qutub Shahi dynasty, and again the later Mughals, and still now the various government celebrations will be conducted are being conducted in the Golconda Fort. It is a prestigious issue. It's similar to, it is prominently called as Red Fort of Telangana state. Okay. Next, moving forward, now let's travel to geography. The concept which is in the news, Lake Erie. Okay, here why it is in news is that a nuclear reactor buffer zone on the shore of Lake Erie in Ohio was has unintentionally become a refugee for threatened spotted turtles. So threatened turtles which are threatened, and now they are taking a refuge near the nuclear reactor. This brings Lake Erie into the news. Now, where is this Lake Erie? It is one of the five Great Lakes of North America. One of the five Great Lakes of North America, and these five lakes are these. Another important five lakes are Superior, then again Michigan, Huron, Erie, as well as Ontario. Huron as well as Ontario, commonly called as SMHEO. Remember, Superior makes humans enjoy oceans. Superior makes humans enjoy oceans. Okay, so now Lake Erie is the fourth largest among the Great Lakes. Southernmost lake, it is the warmest, it is the shallowest, smallest by volume, highly biologically productive. It forms a part of Canada as well as US borders. It forms a part of Canada as well as US border. Very important map connection question. The major ports in this area include Detroit, Cleveland, Toledo, and Buffalo. And remember one special fact, Lake Michigan is entirely within the United States. This is the favorite UPSC statement which was earlier asked in the examinations also. Okay, so remember all this for our upcoming examination. Now let's understand National Financial Reporting Authority. National Financial Reporting Authority. So it stands for NFRA stands for National Financial Reporting Authority. It is an independent regulatory body established under section 132(1) of Companies Act, which is headquartered at New Delhi. So what is the purpose actually? To increase the credibility, to increase the transparency, to increase the compliance of financial reporting. It actually oversees the accounting as well as auditing standards. Its composition includes chairperson who is appointed by the central government. Okay, so chairperson appointed by the central government and up to 15 members with expertise who are in accounting, auditing, and financing as well as law. Okay, so now NFRA has significant powers. It can investigate the professional misconduct, exercise civil court like powers, impose punishment, and its decisions can be actually appealed. Okay, its decisions can be appealed. So can impose punishment but can be appealed. Okay, so is it clear? Is it okay? Okay, so now comes a very important topic for both preliminary as well as mains examination. Pradhan Mantri Annadata I Samraksha Abhiyan, which was launched in the year 2018. The broad objective actually is to strengthen the MSP implementation, minimum support price implementation, and to ensure remunerative prices for the farmers. Now, this scheme has different mechanism, and the examiner loves to mix it up all. Okay, so listen carefully. First one, price support scheme. Here, the government procures the pulses, oilseeds, copra at minimum support price when market prices fall below MSP. Important agencies which collect these are called NAFED and NCCF. Okay, so here price stabilization fund. This is about actually maintaining the buffer stock to protect consumers, maintaining the buffer stock to protect the consumers from price volatility. Price volatility. For examples, pulses, onion, potatoes, pulses, onions as well as potato. The other component is price deficiency, price deficiency payment scheme. So here the government does not necessarily physically procure the produce. Instead, it compensates farmers for the difference between minimum support price as well as market price. The payment can be up to 15 percentage of MSP. Okay, so mainly for oil seeds, mainly for oil seeds. So therefore, remember PDPS is for price gap payment. Price gap payment. Okay, clear. So now fourth component is that market intervention scheme. So this supports perishables for which MSP is not actually fixed. Okay, so perishables for which MSP is not fixed, which includes tomato, onion, potato. Okay, so it can be triggered when prices fall by 10%. If the prices actually falls by 10% or more below the normal level. So for us to understand, PSS is for purchase, PSF is for stock, PDPS is for difference payment, and MIS is for market intervention for perishable. So if you remember this trick, you can solve any question from PM Asha. PM Asha stands for Annadata A Samraksha Abhiyan. Clear? Is it? This is all about the most prominent scheme with respect to PM Asha. Next, moving forward, and finally, geography and international relations. India and Brazil have signed a memorandum of understanding (MOU) to strengthen cooperation in it in two different sectors, in telecommunication as well as ICT. Now just try to locate Brazil. So Brazil is central, eastern. Brazil is in central, eastern South America. It shares borders with Argentina, Paraguay, Bolivia, Peru, Colombo, Venezuela, Guyana, Suriname, French Guyana, as well as its capital is Brasilia. Its capital is Brasilia. So major physical features include Brazilian highlands, okay, Amazon rainforest, pantanal wetlands. The Amazon basin is the world's largest river basin. Brazil's highest peak is Pico da Neblina. Pico da Neblina, so which is 2,999 meters. An important natural resource include iron ore, tin, copper, pyrochlore, bauxite. Okay, so here remember the classic Brazil fact is that Brazil borders every South American country except Chile and Ecuador. Except Chile as well as Ecuador, every other South American continent, South American country, Brazil is bordering. It is the highly factual question. Okay, now we have few important. Now we have few important MCQs which are quite easier and you can solve by reading by going through all this class. Consider the following statements regarding National Animal Disease Control Program. NADCP is centrally sponsored. We already discussed is it is central sector scheme, not centrally sponsored. Okay, therefore the statement is wrong. It aims to eradicate the foot and mouth disease and brucellosis through nationwide vaccination. Yes. Then again, so INS Mangrove has been indigenously designed and constructed by Mazagon Duck Shipbuilders Limited. No, it was built by Cochin Shipyard. Okay, it is primarily designed for submarine warfare operations in shallow coastal water. Yes, besides ASW operation, it also possesses mine laying capability. Yes, both 2 and 3 are right. Next, moving forward, online bond platform provider must be registered with SEBI as a stock broker. Yes, the minimum investment value on OBPP platform is capped at like no, there is no minimum investment value. Okay, so next moving forward, consider the following statements. Polysilicon is composed of single large continuous silicon crystal. No, okay. So and the Siemens process and fluidized bed reactor technology are used to produce high purity polysilicon. Yes, China accounts for large majority of global solar grade polysilicon production. Yes. Next, moving forward, Golconda Fort. Consider the following statements. Golconda Fort was originally built under the Kakatiya dynasty. Yes, it served as a capital of Qutub Shahi rulers before they shifted the capital to Hyderabad. Yes, Aurangzeb successfully breached the fort in his first attempt in 1686. No, so for 9 long months he was waiting to besiege the fort. Okay, so next again, Lake Erie. Consider the following statements. Lake Erie is the largest of the five Great Lakes of North America by volume. No, it drains into Lake Ontario via Niagara River. Yes, Lake Michigan is the only one of the Great Lakes located entirely within the United States. Yes, we discussed these statements also. Next, National Financial Reporting Authority was constituted under Companies Act. Yes, it has a power similar to civil court under the Code of Criminal Civil Procedure. Yes, its chairperson may join an audit firmly immediately after completion of terms of their office. No. Next, PM Asha, consider the following statements. Under the price deficiency payment scheme, the government physically procures the farmers' produce. No, the market intervention. There are two different agencies which are procuring the food. You have to check. Procuring the crop. The market intervention scheme applies to crops for which MSP is not fixed. Yes, the price stabilization fund maintains buffer stock for essential commodities like pulses as well as onions. Yes. Next, Brazil shares the borders with every South American country except Chile and Ecuador. We discussed this. Yes, the Amazon basin, the world's largest river basin, spans across Brazil and several neighboring countries. Yes, the Brazil's highest peak, Pico na Neblina, is located within the paternal wetlands. No, it's not. Next, coming to one good mains question, discuss the significance of income support and price stabilization mechanisms such as PM Asha in ensuring farmers remunerative income in India. Examine the key implementation challenges these scheme faces. Okay, now here we need to have a good discussion. Like discuss the significance of MSP. Okay, so discuss the significance of MSP, then again physical procurement. Okay, so then price deficiency payments, then talk about buffer stock, then talk about market volatility. Discuss the challenges what we are having is limited procurement. So we have very limited procurement and implementation gap. Again, we have uneven regional coverage, regional imbalances, then delays in implementation, then again physical constraints, market distortion. Okay, so conclusion, link farmer welfare with sustainable agriculture market and effective price support. And remember, mains is not about writing everything you know, it is about answering exactly what the question demands. Okay, clear? So for that's all for today's current affairs class. Let's do one rapid revision before we go. NADCP is for FMD and brucellosis, INS mangrove, ASW in shallow waters, OBPP digital bond platform, polysilicon, solar, semiconductor raw material, Golconda, Kakatiya, Qutub Shahi, Aurangzeb, Lake Erie, Greatest Lakes and Niagara River, and NFRA Section 132 Companies Act 2013, PM ASHA, PSS, PSF, PDPS, MIS, so Brazil borders except Chile and Ecuador. And remember, dear aspirants, one day of current affairs will not change your preparation, but one day of consistency repeated every day absolutely will. Don't underestimate the power of small daily efforts. Stay consistent, stay focused, stay updated, stay dedicated. This is Decode UPSC. unlock your potential, decode your future. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next class. Until then, keep learning, keep revising, and keep moving one step closer towards your dream. Thank you.